All right, guys. So the next thing I wanted to talk about as I'm doing this version one series of videos um, is exercise. I am a fat guy. Um, I don't exercise enough. I can guarantee you that. I consider myself relatively sedentary. I know I'm not as sedentary as other people, but I'm nowhere close to as active as others are. And so, for years and years and years and years, I felt like I was active, and because I got out and I did things, I hiked, which means I walked in woods, um, and so I I was I was very misleading myself as far as trying to perceive myself as something more than I am. I'm not an active person. I'm very sedentary. In fact, this chair that I'm sitting in right now is my favorite chair. I love this chair. It's very comfortable. It fits my body really nice. It hugs me close. It's my friend, and so that's why I chose to do this video. On exercise from my sedentary chair, as I'm calling it. Um, I really hate the concept of exercising just for exercise's sake. Um, I One of the things when I was successful last time, I did have a gym membership, um, and my wife and I also acquired several pieces of gym equipment which I don't have access to anymore. So I've got to figure out whether I am going to get a membership again or whether I'm going to just try to do stuff and be more active without equipment. Whether I'm going to try to buy some equipment because I really don't have the space anymore to have a gym, a personal gym anyway. And so a lot of what I'm going to be doing to start is just, number one, I've got to contemplate. I've got to decide, do I have enough time for a gym? I really am strongly thinking that possibly early next week I might go over and check out a couple gyms and see if I want to get a membership or not. Um, you know, I think we're to the other side of the COVID thing, so working out in the gym is not really a problem. But during COVID, because I've been contemplating this weight loss journey and needing to do it for a long time, I started right after my wife left me. I started working on it, and then COVID hit, and I totally lost all focus on my weight loss. And so during COVID, I gained the 30 pounds back that I had lost before COVID, post wife. And I gained those 30 pounds plus another 20 in the last probably 3 or 4, well, no, 6 months. I've gained another 20 pounds. So I'm 50 pounds heavier than I was a year and a half ago. That's really bad. And if any skinny people are watching this, they're like, 50 pounds, oh my gosh. Yeah, 50 pounds. So, um, Number one, becoming more active. Well, actually, that's number two because number one is increasing my water intake. Number two is becoming more active. Number three is eating less, and that's going to be my next video. Well, I've already talked about that in my water video, how I do eat less sometimes, but I'm going to do a whole video on food. Sorry for these distractions. ADHD kicking in, and this is unscripted. So, like I said, my version one videos are all unscripted. They're just me rambling. So, version two and beyond, I'm hoping to develop scripts so that I ramble less. You guys can tell me whether you like me rambling or not. But anyway, um, exercise. Plan is I'm going to start off with body weight because if I can do anything with my body weight, I am lifting quite a bit. And so, doing things like sit ups and push ups and chin ups and things like that are impossible for me. And I, and skinny people that I know, because I used to be part of my son's Boy Scout group, and the fit guys on there would just come and do push-ups, and I'm just looking at them like, wow, I wish I could do a push-up. I can't do a single push-up, and the more I've started thinking about that, the more I'm like, well, they're pushing up 100 pounds, you're pushing up 400 pounds, or they're pushing up 200 pounds and you're pushing up 400 pounds. There's a huge difference in the weight of that. And so, for me, being able to do body weight exercises, as they are in the books is not going to happen, not until I get some strength. And if I was stronger, then there would be a lot of things happening. Number one, I wouldn't weigh as much, so I wouldn't have as much to lift, but also I would be able to lift it. So I've got several different modified exercises that I'm going to hopefully share with you guys, and share with you how I plan on building my body, using just some body weight exercises. So that way, those who are trying to do it on an extreme budget can do it on an extreme budget. If I decide to join a gym, and I decide to, because it's really hard to stretch any extra money in my, as a teacher, teachers in Mississippi don't get paid a whole lot, and I'm a single dad, and is still in the process of divorce, so there is like no child support coming from mom or anything else like that. So I'm footing the bill. Fortunately, my parents are assisting some, but adding a gym membership seems a little luxurious at this point. So whether I add a gym membership is a big part of it. I'll have to look at my budget and see if I can afford it, but otherwise, I know I've got the backup of I can do this with things that I have in my house. And so, for those who are unable to afford going to a gym, that this is something that I want you guys to feel like is a reality. If you're inspiring, or if I'm trying to inspire other people, there should be no roadblocks. There should be no reason why you can't do this. And so that's my philosophy with this Buffalo to Buff channel. Is I don't want there to be any reason that you can come up with that you can't do the things that I'm doing to lose weight. Number one, drink water. Water is available in almost every home on this in this country, in the United States. It's available in almost every home in developed nations. And so, if you're watching this, more than likely you are in a more developed nation. If you've got enough money to be fat, because you've got food, um, then you've probably got enough money for water. And so, how you drink it is totally up to you. If you get smart water bottles, if you get, just glasses of water, if you've got cups of water. But I like filling up my water bottles at the beginning of the day so that I know how much I've had by the end of the day. I can see that in the number of empty bottles. Exercise. I'm going to show you how I do it with just body weight. And then you can choose to go and get weights. You can choose to go to the gym. If I do get a gym membership, I will still show both ways. How I'm doing it, because I need to get every expert that I've researched, because I do a lot of research. That's one thing as a teacher, you do research on everything, right? I do a lot of research before I do anything. And so a lot of the research that I see, 30 minutes to an hour every day is what you need for your activity. And so if you are totally sedentary, which by totally sedentary, I mean you sit down for most of your day. If you aren't sitting, then you're barely shuffling somewhere. Me and my job, I stand a lot and I walk around a very limited circle in my classroom, but I don't really walk with speed anywhere. I sit a lot, especially once I get home. I might stand and cook dinner, But that's what my definition of a sedentary life is. I know some people are more sedentary, they cannot move around physically. If you cannot move around, I'm hoping to do some addressing of okay, I am so obese that I have lost the ability to move around. I want to do some things because ultimately you can't walk, or you can't run unless you can walk. You can't walk unless you can stand up. You can't stand up if you don't have the muscle strength to be able to do it, and you can't run if you don't have the muscle strength to be able to do it. So ultimately, everything is about building up your muscles in your body to be able to handle what they need to be able to handle. I am very fortunate at this point in my life that I can do stuff. My sister's mother-in-law passed away last year, and she was extremely obese as well. And she had gotten to the point in her life that walking from her car to the store entrance was a problem. Um, and that's one thing that frightens me, is getting to that point, because I have been sick before, and when I was sick, I was in the bed or sitting around way more than usual. And I noticed that if you don't move around the amount that I move around, that the food that I eat packs on the pounds that much faster, and it becomes that much more impossible to lose them. And so, it's a muscle thing. It's they say your medical experts and everything are going to be like, oh, if you weigh this much, then you're consuming this many calories. It takes this many calories just to be able to have that weight. Well, those expectations vary. Your metabolism, how many calories your body burns, depends greatly on how much of that is fat and how much of it is muscle. If you are very little muscle and a whole lot of fat, it does not take nearly as many calories to keep your body alive and functioning at 400 pounds as it would if I was a 400-pound Arnold Schwarzenegger type body. If I was Arnold Schwarzenegger's fit when he was Mr. Universe at my weight, because yes, there are extremely heavy but muscular people. They burn way more calories than I eat in a day. And so, and I tell my mother is a dietitian. She's retired at this point, but all my life she's been like, oh, for your height, as a man, you should be eating 2,200 calories at a minimum, 2,200 to 2,500 calories. I'm like, Mom, if I eat 2,200 calories, I'm gaining weight. What I find for me to maintain my weight is about 2,000 calories. For me to lose weight, between 1,500 and 1,800 calories is what I find for me. And when I started researching or doing studying about that weight loss and why that is, and discovering the reality setting in of muscle burns more calories than fat, I had a very stark realization of just how much of my body is fat. How little of it is actually the muscle that I think I've got underneath there. Because if people who've known me, if you're watching these videos, you'll be like, oh, Jeff always talks about that he's got lots of muscle under there because he has to carry around 400 pounds with him every day. Yes, my legs are possibly muscular, but my arms, my chest, my abs, my back, all my upper body is extremely weak. And really and truly, even my legs are nowhere near as strong as they could be or should be. There's tons of fat all over my body, and so I've got to get that under control. So here we go. Weight loss and exercise. Like I said, body weight, and this is version 1. So be on the lookout for more of this type of video. Y'all, hope you're enjoying this. Have a great day. If for nothing else, have laughs.